Hi everyone, it's Lindsay and welcome to this week's edition of my weight loss diary. This week I'm trying to reduce 153.4 by weighing in on video. So this week I'm going to share with you guys 4 books that I've read, listened to, because they're actually audiobooks, but you know what I mean, and the tips that I'm utilizing from those books to consistently lose weight. First book, Mel Robbin's The 5-Second Rule. Quick synopsis for you. She was in a depressing state in her life. She was having trouble getting out of bed in the morning. She saw a rocket ship launch on the TV the night before, and the next day decided that she would start launching herself out of bed by counting down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and like blast off, would get out of bed. Now, I haven't executed on that perfectly, but one thing I did pick up from this book is developing a morning routine. And I've been getting up at 4 in the morning with Jeff and exercising each morning and not checking social media first thing. And it has been wonderful. We have done yoga for 30 days. We were doing yoga with Adrian, and now we're doing Qigong, which is... you just have to look it up. It's very slow moving, but it's kind of gets you in a mindful type situation and helps you feel more balanced for the day. While I haven't been perfect at executing at the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and forcing myself to do things, it has inspired me a little bit to force myself to do things that I may not want to do. Just not basing things on my feelings so much. Because it talks about how you should make decisions based on what's good for you versus just doing what we feel like. Because you're never going to feel like it. So you just need to do it anyway. Second book I want to bring up is The Easy Way to Lose Weight by Carr. It seems pretty gimmicky if you listen to the title. But the reason I picked up this book is because I had listened to Carr's Easy Way to Stop Smoking over a decade ago. I smoked from the age of 16 to the age of 26, and the way I was able to quit was reading Carr's Easy Way to Stop Smoking book. And it just kind of psychologically explains to you why you smoke and why you want to quit. So I'm like, let's give his weight loss book a shot. And I was skeptical. It had mixed reviews, and I knew going into it was going to push a plant-based diet. But for me, that's not much of a stretch. I've been a vegetarian for, I think, 9 years now, and I was pretty close to eating vegan. I was just eating... the bad stuff I was eating was not vegan. So the things that I picked up from Carr's book are, I eat fruit for breakfast now. He talks about how fruit can be hard to digest sometimes, and so you should wait 2 hours after eating fruit and eat fruit by itself for the best digestion. Now, Googling that, it's got mixed results. There's no real proof of that, but it's helped me out because it's enough to give me energy in the morning and give me a little bit of satisfaction. And so usually I don't eat breakfast until about 9 a.m. and then I just eat fruit for breakfast, and then I wait a few more hours, and then I have a light lunch. So I definitely got that from this book, but the biggest thing that I took from this book is that it explains how you don't enjoy overeating, and food only tastes good when you're hungry. And I mean, I guess it seems logical, but I just never really thought that much into it. But like anytime you overeat, you just feel bad afterwards. It's like you can eat one piece of cake and you're fine, but you start eating multiple pieces of cake, it doesn't lead to more happiness, And I guess I just needed that reinforced and to be like, you know what, that's true. I like food way more when I'm hungry. So I allow myself to be hungry because at 4 in the morning I wake up. I don't eat breakfast until 9, and I just have fruit. And I drink a lot of fluids, so the hunger is not that bad. And then I don't eat lunch until like 11:30, 12. And I eat a light lunch. So that brings me to the third and fourth books that I've read, that I've taken tips from. And that would be the Starch Solution and the Mcdougall Program for Maximum Weight Loss. Both books are by Dr. Mcdougall, and they have recipes from his wife, Mary Mcdougall. Just a quick synopsis on the Starch Solution. This book is basically an argument for eating a plant-based diet, and I highly recommend it to anyone who is considering switching to that way of eating. The basic premise is that Dr. Mcdougall was practicing medicine in Hawaii, and he continuously saw his patients getting sicker over the years, and they became sicker as people were younger. So he had cared for, the elderly, and then their kids, and then their kids, and he realized the trend was the younger they were, the more they were eating the standard American diet and a much more meat-heavy diet, whereas the older generations were eating a lot more rice and starches. So that's what I mean by starches. It's rice, potatoes, pastas, barley, those kind of things. And he's saying to center your life around starches, and if you look at the different cultures throughout time, predominantly people ate starch. And then as they built wealth, they started to eat more meat and started to have more health issues. In this book, he covers a lot of the science behind why a plant-based diet is very healthy. He explains why a meat-consuming diet is pushed quite a bit because of the dairy industry. He explains why we're so obsessed with protein in our culture. He does talk about how you can have success losing weight on a high protein diet, as many people do, how it's not very sustainable and not the best for your health. Dr. Mcdougall also talks about how he himself, growing up on the standard American diet, had a stroke at a very early age. So all those things combined, his curiosity and his desire to try and help people is what caused him to change his diet drastically and to speak consistently over the years about a starch-based diet. Now, the Mcdougall Program for Maximum Weight Loss kind of just expounds on the original ideas from the Starch Solution on how to take your weight loss to the next level. So the Starch Solution tells you to eat a plant-based diet that is heavy in starch and vegetables and fruits. And the Maximum Weight Loss one basically tells you to cut out more fat so you can lose weight quicker. So if your weight loss is stalling, it's there. So the things I took from these books are basically the whole way I'm eating. It's the idea of the 50-50 plate or the 75-25 plate. Now a 50-50 plate would be you're going to do half veg, half starch. The 75-25 is 75% veg, 25% carb, or not carb, starch. And I've been doing a combination. I'm going to show you some of the stuff I've been eating so that you can see kind of how this all lays out. So it's not that different from how I've been eating lately. The main difference is, like, say I'd eat some vegetable dumplings, that would be just what I would eat, and I would eat a bunch of vegetable dumplings because I love vegetable dumplings. But now I will eat tom yum soup with a little veg stir fry, and then I'll eat some dumplings so that I'm getting more veg in to fill up on. And he always says to eat the veg first and then go to your starches. And then if you're still hungry, get more veg, and then you just kind of go in that order. That way you feel more full. And so I can say I've been very satisfied eating the way that I have been because I'm eating a lot of food. And the food tastes good because you have to learn how to cook totally different if you switch to a vegetarian diet. And I feel like I cook pretty good. Now, strangers might not feel that way, I don't know, because maybe it is a little bit of an adaptation to your taste buds. But I feel like I'm eating like a king. Now, I haven't really taken on a whole lot of the tips from the Maximum Weight Loss book, just because I'm still losing weight without cutting out the extra things. But it basically tells you to cut out any of the high fat items. So it would say to cut out avocados, bread, pasta, tofu, because those items contain more fat. And if you do that, then you will see your weight drop quicker. I'm not in a hurry. I want this to be sustainable and something that I do. And I feel like the way I'm eating right now, I feel very satisfied. I can eat stuff like pizza. Like, I've eaten pizza from Pizza Hut like 3 times now in the past 6 weeks. And I'll eat half a pizza. I know that's, you know, I consider like 1 day a week kind of my cheat day, I guess. And when I say I eat pizza, it's the Impossible sausage with vegetables, no cheese on it, so it's still plant-based or vegan. There are several recipes in the book that we've tried. We've done the baked falafel. It turned out really good. I kind of modified it, but I did a version of his Indian tomato soup. The book also has tons of suggestions for eating out at restaurants. Having been vegetarian for years and having eaten a totally vegan diet in the past, I did for like almost a year straight. I already had some of these tips, but it's just very useful for anyone that wants to switch. So yeah, those are the books. I found them very helpful and things are going well. And I'm going to just show you real quick what my weigh-in was this week, because I was pretty happy. So I started the week at 153.4 and I ended the week at 152.4. This is significant for me because I'm supposed to get my period today. I am full-blown PMS mode right now. And I lost a pound this week. And I have lost weight every week for the last 6 weeks. Might not be a big deal for other people, but if you've been watching it all, I have been in my own way quite a bit and back and forth. And I've been feeling really good, like mentally, and everything has been going very smooth. So I'm just trying to stick with it, and it's not been difficult to stick with. I just feel like it's going really well. Another thing that you guys might find amusing that amuses me greatly is that Jeff is letting me choose what he eats because he was having trouble losing weight. So he has committed himself to only eat what I tell him he can eat until the end of February. So it's been really fun. But he said he's been enjoying the food too, and he has helped me cook some of these meals. So anyway, I also want to quickly mention thank you all for watching and commenting below, because the encouragement is very helpful. And I noticed that I just hit over my 100 subscribers this week, and I really appreciate those that watch, because getting the little comments and, you know, seeing the stuff really does help me stay on track and stay motivated. And I also enjoy watching other people's videos and seeing other people's progress. So thank you all for that. So yeah, please leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought of this video. Have you ever thought of going plant-based? Let me know below. If you think it's crazy, let me know that. That's fine. I never would have guessed, like say 11 years ago, that I would have quit eating meat. But I did, and I have no regrets. So anyway, thank you all for watching. See you next week. Look at how smart Jupiter is. I covered up the heat vents with this blanket and pillow to try and cover up some of the noise that tends to show up in my video. She's so cute. Hey, Jupy. Are you warm?